Hello everyone and welcome to the Mtar weapon review. My name is 50 and let's get started. Now the Mtar is the very first assault rifle that you unlock, and you do not have to use an unlock token to get this gun. It's a freebie, guys. So let's start off by just saying what it is. It's the first assault rifle. It's bullpup. It's fully automatic and it's very strong overall. I must say it is. Its damage up close is 40, but at distance it goes down to 24. But if you get a headshot with this gun, you have a 1.2 headshot multiplier. You get 30 rounds in a mag, which is pretty average, right? And then you get 40 rounds with extended play. Now, the reload time for it is 2.49 seconds normal, and then about 3 seconds empty, and it has a rate of fire of 750 RPM. This is not as fast as the Type 25 was. It's a very slower compared to it, but here's where your rate of fire actually helps you. You have a moderate to low recoil. And you have high, or not really high, but like average penetration, and then, like I said, it's 4 on max. So, with this gun, it has a slow rate of fire, but it makes your aiming a lot easier. With our build today, we are going to work on accuracy with this gun. Since personally, when I tried this gun, which was like as soon as the game came out, I was not a rusher with it. I just couldn't rush with it as I could with the Type 25 or a submachine gun. So what I decided to do was to play it more like an LMG, where you're using it to hold down an area. You're not camping, but you're holding down an area. Not like, you know, the campers that just sit in the corner. You are defending an area, so whether it's a flag or a bomb, this is where that gun comes into play. Now, a very good choice that I would suggest right away is fast mag. I suggested this for the Type 25, and I'm going to suggest it again because the reload speeds are very similar with these two guns. It's just a few milliseconds off, I believe, but it's a very slow reload. But personally, you have a low rate of fire, which makes, you know, your life longer in game with it, so you don't waste as many bullets if you can stay on target. The reflex sight is a good attachment since I do not like its iron sights that much. Personally, I don't like aiming with a little stick, but some people do. I mean, I can use it, but it's just not my preferred sight ever. Iron sights ever. Quick draw is another good attachment that helps you bring your sights up faster. And with this gun, you kind of want to be accurate and bring them up faster, so I would very much suggest that. So your first 3 attachments that you unlock, I would suggest. If you want, you can use primary gunfire to put them all together. But that's not what we're going to be doing for this build. The ACOG scope, I highly suggest do not use the sight on the Mtar. You would think, oh, you're going for accuracy, why don't you choose the, you know, ACOG sight? Because it sucks on this gun. It just doesn't work. I mean, I've tried it several times in game and it just wouldn't work with me. So I would highly suggest not using it. The foregrip is going to be part of our build today, and what that does is it takes that moderate to low recoil and it steadies it out so it's nothing. So personally, I would find that to be helpful. The target finder is our next one that we're going to be throwing in. So you'll have 2 attachments, not 3, on this gun. This time around, unless if you want fast mags, then you'll be using the primary gunfire, but we're not going to be doing that with this build today. So the target finder, it's kind of more of an LMG thing, but like I said, you kind of want to use this gun LMG-like. Sure, it may have a 3-shot kill up close, but that rate of fire is very slow. So you want to be able to keep your enemies at distance, and you want to know where your enemies are. So therefore, I suggest the target finder, because the target finder takes your enemies and pops them up on the screen, on your little sight. Yes, it does take off a lot of your vision when you're aiming down sights with it, but it is a very good attachment with this gun I tried it with the Type 25, didn't like it that much, put it on the Mtar, and I started playing a few games with it, and I really enjoyed it. But you could also use the laser sight if you want to help with that close quarters engagement. The laser sight will help make your hip fire a lot easier on you. Trust me, I've used a lot of these before. Select fire I would not suggest, since this gun is really not made for burst fire. It's already 750 RPM as is, so I don't see why you would need a slower rate of fire. The holographic sight, I don't know why, but for me it kind of felt like nostalgia a bit, since if you remember, Modern Warfare 2 had the Mtar 21, and that is the same thing as, or they're like cousins, I should say. The Mtar and the Mtar 21 are cousins of each other. So when I put the holographic sight on this gun, it just kind of brought me back to those Modern Warfare 2 days, and I would suggest that if you don't like the reflex sight that much. So yeah, I would throw that on if you want to use a different sight than the reflex sight all the time. Suppressor is good. This gun does work stealthy. I have tried the Xbox Ahoy class setup, and that was a very stealthy class setup, and I really enjoyed it. So the suppressor is going to be a good option for you. Extended clip is... I would suggest fast mags over extended clip, just in this game, since it doesn't add that much of a difference, since it's 30, you only get 10 extra rounds now, so I would not suggest using extended clip. I would go straight to fast mags. Grenade launcher, don't ever use in a Call of Duty if it's after Modern Warfare 2. That's what I'm just going to say for all grenade launchers in the assault rifle class. Do not use it unless you're playing Modern Warfare 2. And the millimeter sight, it's a personal favorite of mine, so I would suggest that as well. Now, I kind of want to go over some of the perks I've chose for this class setup, since it is different than what I originally used with the Type 25 and my original setup with the Mtar, since my original setup is usually fast mags, quick draw, and the reflex sight, and the quick draw could be replaced with more grip sometimes if I felt like my accuracy was off that day. And pretty much for perk 1, I went hardline. Now, don't get me wrong, I like flak jacket, but I think hardline works better since this is more of a support type gun, and you are going to be on the outside of the map or in your little A flag or B flag or C flag defending, and there's going to be a lot of guys running towards you, so you want to be able to kill them and help your team out. And this is actually one of the builds where I'll actually give you score streaks that will help you out and your team. So hardline will get you those score streaks for less, so instead of having to get 5 kills for UAV, it's going to be around 4. And personally, I was a fan of hardline in a lot of the other Call of Duties, and personally I thought it would work with this gun, and it did when I played it out. Now I used perk 2 greed on this class, mainly because, like I said, I was not good with the Mtar in close quarters, so I put toughness on there, which is just my usual to help you stay on target with this class, and then I chose fast hands. Why? Because I usually had a pistol for my secondary, and with that pistol I would use that for my close quarter combat. I was using the TAC 45, but you could use the B23R or the Cap 40 if you want to. You could use the 5.7. I would suggest any pistol but the Executioner, since I am not a big fan of the Executioner at all. But if you are going to go for a pistol, I would go for anything but the Executioner, and do not put attachments on it. That's how I would play out your close quarter combat. And fast hands lets you switch to that faster, also lets you throw off your grenades faster and everything. And for perk 3, I really didn't know what to choose. I was switching between dexterity and engineer. Executioner. Oh, great. Now it's a perk and a gun. But I was using dexterity and engineer a lot, and I used a little bit of extreme conditioning, and I felt like the 3rd tier perk didn't really help me out that much. So if you wanted to replace tier 3 with some sort of concussion, flash, EMP, black hat, I would suggest you do that, since it really didn't help me that much to have a 3rd perk on. And then for my lethal, I decided to change it up a little bit. I decided to put on the stem text, which is your sticky grenade. And I felt that this was good if you wanted to just lob it and hope that it lands on hopes that, like, if you wanted to lob it and then have it stick on a flag, or just as a joke, you see some guy coming at you, the flag carrier, and you capture the flag or whatever, you throw the sticky grenade onto your buddy. Trust me, I've done it before. It's fun. You throw the grenade onto your buddy, and then you kill the other person that's about to kill your partner. It's a lot of fun doing that. Sticky grenades are always fun to use. Personally, I kind of like the normal grenades better since they roll around, but personally, I felt that the stem text was a really good choice. Mainly because you're playing that defensive role, and the sticky grenade sticks in one area, and it's not really going to roll around too much. So the stem text gives you a little bit more accuracy than the normal grenade would.
Securing Charlie.
And then, like I said, for tacticals, you can use whatever, just replace your perk 3. And now let's kind of go on to score streaks a little bit, since these are the score streaks that I personally use for any game type, but I highly suggest it with this class because, like I said, this is a supportive class, so you want to help out your team to get some more score streaks. So personally, to start off with, I always go with UAV. Why? Because UAV really puts an impact on just adding on to your score as it is already with the UAV assist. Every time someone gets a kill and your UAV is up, you get points. Which, personally, I thought that was a good change to the game. And also, like it has been in other Call of Duties, you get the enemy's position unless they have some sort of stealth perk bonus added on. And they will pop up on your minimap. Now, the one thing with the UAV, it can be easily shot down. And ever since the patch with this game, I saw more and more UAVs being shot down of mine. So I would be careful of that, but that will usually be around 4 kills with this class because of hardline. The second score streak that I would highly suggest is the Hunter Killer. Why? Because it's a free kill every time you throw that thing up into the air. Just throw it off the side of the map and let it swoop around, find someone and kill. And that will give you easy points. Now you could replace that with a care package and have someone share it. That works too. Or you can go with a counter UAV. Now the counter UAV does the exact same thing as the UAV with the assist points, but it blocks their radar.
Sticky.
Now I don't know if they have the assassin perk where you're immune to counter UAVs and EMP. I think it may be called Hardwire. I'm not sure. Correct me in the comments below if that's not it. But personally, I would suggest throwing those two up. And then finally, I went with a lightning strike, since if you're playing really defensive and you die and you need to take over a point fast, or stop a point from getting taken over fast, or if you want to take over a point fast and you know that the enemy team is all up in that area, you can call in that lightning strike and it will strike down. Now there was a patch on this where it would slow it down a little more, but personally I still find that it works fine. Well, thank you guys for watching this Mtar video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like. Also, if you want to visit my personal channel, I have a lot of good Let's Plays and just multiplayer videos on there. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. Thanks for Infamous for putting this up. I have been 5150 Nighthawk 02. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Stay frosty, people.
Hey there, all you YouTubers. This is Tracy the Infamous. If you have enjoyed the content of this video, subscribe to the Director's channel on the left. For more videos like this one, click on the right button or the button down below. Thanks for subscribing. Have a great day. Bye-bye.